If your website isn't bringing in clients, your first instinct is probably to buy more ads, post more on social media, or write more blog posts. You assume you have a traffic problem. Look at this chart. If you have a flat traffic line of 800 visitors a month at a 0.5% conversion rate, you get 4 leads. But if you take that exact same traffic and optimize the page to convert at 3%, you get 24 leads. You are multiplying your output by 6 without spending a single extra penny on marketing. Your homepage has one actual job: turning a cold stranger into a qualified lead. A lot of sites are built to win design awards, showcase every company achievement, or impress industry peers. They look completely fine on the surface, but they actively fail at moving a visitor toward an inquiry. If you pump more ad spend into a page that cannot convert, you are just pouring expensive traffic into a leaking bucket. When a new visitor lands on your site, they are not a captive audience. They arrive cold, highly skeptical, and usually with 3 or 4 of your competitors open in adjacent browser tabs. They give your site between 3 and 7 seconds to convince them they are in the right place. In those few seconds, they run through a chronological gauntlet. This is a rapid sequence of technical and psychological hurdles your site has to clear before the user instinctively hits the back button. When a site is engineered to survive this specific sequence of hurdles, passive traffic starts converting into measurable revenue. The first major drop-off happens before your homepage even draws a single pixel on the screen. It is driven entirely by mobile load times. This graphic illustrates the threshold of mobile patience. If a page takes longer than 3 seconds to load, 53% of mobile visitors will abandon it immediately. If they stick around, the page appears, and the brain instantly runs a 5-second test. The user is asking 2 things. What does this business actually do, and is this for someone like me? If they are met with phrases like omni-channel digital transformation, they freeze. They are looking for a simple solution to a frustrating problem, and industry jargon just forces them to decode their expertise. Look at this wireframe. Most businesses waste valuable above-the-fold real estate on dense text blocks, generic welcomes, and vague mission statements. We fix this by replacing the clutter with a single sharp headline that states exactly who you help and the problem you fix. When your top section requires mental effort to understand, that cognitive friction psychologically mirrors distrust. The visitor feels confused, and confused visitors leave. Once a visitor actually decides to scroll down the page, their initial curiosity drops off and is instantly replaced by skepticism. This skepticism spikes if you sent them there from a specific paid ad. They clicked a link for a free website audit, but they land on a generalized homepage pitching 5 different services. That mental disconnect triggers an immediate exit. A page that tries to list every service, display every minor certification, and detail a long company history does not inform the visitor. It overloads them with information and creates choice paralysis. The most fatal error in this scrolling phase is burying your evidence. If a visitor has to scroll to the very bottom of the page to find a client logo, a real number, or a testimonial, you are asking for their trust before you have provided any proof. The fix is aggressive decluttering. You delete the generic filler and pull your strongest client results directly up to the top tier, right below the main header. In the digital space, nobody cares what you say about yourself. Trust is only earned through highly visible, verifiable, third-party evidence. Now we reach the final stage of the gauntlet. The visitor understands what you do, they believe your evidence, and they are ready to act. This is where structural friction stops highly motivated leads cold. If your service menus are hidden in complicated dropdowns, or your contact form requires hunting through 3 different pages, they will simply give up. And when they finally find a button, it usually says something generic like submit or contact us. These phrases demand work from the user without promising any specific value in return. Take a look at this interface. The optimal setup removes the competing options and presents one prominent button. It uses a personalized, benefit-led phrase like, "Get my free website audit." Removing structural roadblocks and presenting one obvious, valuable next step is the exact mechanism that turns a passing interest into a captured lead. You do not need to spend thousands of dollars rebuilding your entire website from scratch to see your numbers improve. Multiplying your lead volume simply requires diagnosing and closing the specific friction leaks across the chronological gauntlet we just walked through. A high-converting homepage requires 4 things: speed to prevent abandonment, clarity to ensure understanding, visible trust, and a frictionless path to action. Designing a site to clear a visitor's chronological hurdles transforms your homepage into a tool that generates leads